The following KQED production was produced in high definition.
The beef torta was out of this world.
I actually don't discriminate against pizza.
This is a temple to red meat.
Or like a meatball. We couldn't see it and we couldn't hear it.
Whoa, I'm actually in San Francisco.
This is amazing. Oh, bring me more.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sabraco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. We have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. This week, Exploratorium teacher in residence, Modesto Tamez, is considered the resident foodie by Exploratorium staff. Along with science education and instruction, he shares his recommendations of the best eateries in town. And art director Rachel Carey studies classical music. She likens dining at her elegant pick to a melody. Sophistication describes the ambiance and impeccable service which sets the tone. It all works in harmony, resulting in a crescendo of flavors on the plate. Lastly, youth worker Mark Duncanson lived in Turkey as a teen and took comfort in the warm welcome he received wherever he went. It's where he learned to savor the fragrances and flavors of the local Turkish cuisine. Now he loves the familiar welcome of merhaba and the extraordinary dishes that greet him at his pick. It's on Broadway in Redwood City, and it's called New Cappadocia.
Restaurant business is like a disease. Once it gets into your blood, it's difficult to get it out. Cappadocia means land of the beautiful horses. I believe it's a word from Farsi. Cappadocia is a region in central Turkey, and it's a place for everybody to visit once in their lifetime. When we opened the restaurant, we had a Turkish chef. Couldn't get along with him, so he left us, and we couldn't find another one. And my wife is a great home cook, so she said, I'll step in and I'll try, and she did. My wife had no experience in professional cooking, so she brought the home cooking into our kitchen. I watch her. When she cooks, I can sense it, I can feel it. She does it from her heart. So what goes to the table is made from her heart. 2 of her very special items are what we call mantı. It's little raviolis, hand-rolled, handmade. And then also the stuffed eggplant. That's probably our second best seller. And it's to die for.
Mark, now you lived in Turkey, so this is authentic Turkish cuisine.
It is. It was so nice. It completely brought me back. It was actually my wife and I were coming back from an art show about 3 years ago, and I saw Kapadokia, and I went, I know where that is. I've been there.
Because Cappadocia refers to sort of the ancient name of the area.
Right. It's a region, the ancient region of Turkey. They had fairy chimneys there and everything. A beautiful region, and the whole country is beautiful.
Right.
But when I saw that name, I said, that's Turkish. So we stopped in and had dinner that night, and it was just wonderful. And even just the atmosphere. It's simple. It just wants you to have good food. That restaurant just wants you to have good food. It's friendly service, and it was fun being back there. It was funny. I'm talking like I actually went back to Turkey.
Well, you went on a very cheap virtual vacation.
I did, exactly. Yes.
That's the thing that really impressed me when I walked in. The owner was so warm and so gracious, and I knew immediately it was a small family-run restaurant, but I also knew that, I actually thought it was a Greek restaurant at first. I didn't even research it. But Jay
Alpay, the owner, is from Turkey.
Right, yes. But I saw the evil eyes, and I knew right away it was Turkish, and I thought, ooh, I'm either in for something kind of mediocre, or this could be really good, and it was really good, and I loved it.
On the way back to San Francisco, we were almost going to go to SFO and take a flight to Turkey.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing, friendly, friendly.
And Turkish cuisine does definitely have that Mediterranean flair
It
to
does.
it.
That's what I was
Some
gonna say,
dishes
yeah.
may be familiar to people, dolmas, things like that, but then other dishes are very uniquely Turkish. So
Yeah.
what did you
What I
have, for
loved-
example, Rachel?
Oh, well, the appetizer we had was amazing. I've never had anything like this. It was a tomato paste, walnut, garlic, cumin
Had it.
paste.
Amazing.
Served on their little Turkish bread with little sesame seeds on top. We couldn't stop. My husband and I were just like fighting over it. It was so good.
Did you win? Did you beat your husband?
I always win those kind of fights.
So does my wife.
No. But it was
that was
really
a-
exceptionally different, and I loved it.
And the lentil soup. I had lentil soup all over.
Right.
We had
It's
that
the best
too.
lentil soup
It was-
I've ever had.
There's mint in it,
And
which
spicy.
who would think to put
Yeah.
mint in lentil soup?
Simi
Yeah.
has
And it was
that rich
excellent.
texture.
Yeah.
See, that's an issue I had with the appetizers. I had the cigara borege, which is it's like basically a spring roll with the feta cheese and potatoes in it. And I think they have like 4 or 6 on a plate. And while my wife and I are talking, I'm just pounding them into my mouth. And I realized that I've eaten them all, and I'm like, I don't know if I have room.
Too full.
But I did have room, so fear not. So, but the one that does it for me that says Turkish cuisine, and I'm a meat guy, is I was taught that it was said kofta. Kofta. And it's simply just beef patties with rice, which right there does it for me, because I've already had the salad, which is very good. And when we get to the main dish, it gets right to the point. Some pilaf and the patties. And I like it because, like I said, I'm a meat guy, but it also tastes very Mediterranean to me,
Yeah.
with the cumin and coriander and whatnot. But
I think that's one of the things I loved about it is these were Mediterranean flavors that I've never tasted before. And I've been to Greece. I've never been to Turkey, but that was one of the things there were some really unique flavor combinations that I think a lot of people would really enjoy experiencing.
And I go to a lot of Turkish restaurants in the city, and what I really liked about this, I saw things I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And you really got the feeling that you're in someone's home. The aunt came by, the grandmother came by. This little girl, I'm a physics teacher, did a centrifugal force experiment.
Yes, I
and
love that.
Can't miss that.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's
And
worth going just for that.
I think this is one of the friendliest places I've ever been to in the Bay
Yeah.
Area, by far.
We both ordered the lamb kebab. We're not big beef eaters. We don't really eat beef. Mine had lamb chop, lamb brochette, also some chicken, and the kofta, which I did eat, and I enjoyed it. But I have to say, whoever's in the kitchen knows how to cook meat. It's really well done, and it's succulent, tender, perfectly cooked. It's really
And
good.
Modesto?
Well, actually, my wife had the better dish, as usual.
Well, because we're smarter.
We're
You know
smarter.
that.
As it turns out, she had this really delicious casserole, lamb casserole with vegetables, in this really beautiful rectangular ceramic dish. It was really cool. I had the same type of stuff, except it was a spicy one.
yes.
And that was really, really good, but I wanted to eat my wife's dish more than mine.
Yeah.
And so, in fact, the worst I could say that mine was really good and hers was amazing.
What I also love is they bring the appetizers and the desserts to the table on a tray, which they don't do
Like
here.
dim sum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's obviously very Turkish. I overheard the owner saying that in Turkish restaurants in Turkey, sometimes they have as many as 55 appetite. And I just thought that was amazing.
And all 3 restaurants that I went to have something that a lot of San Francisco restaurants don't have. A place where you can speak. It was really quiet. And it wasn't quiet. I mean, you still had a sense of community, but you could talk. You can have a great conversation.
I also think the location's really nice. We definitely plan to come back here in the summer and walk around because you have the Chamber of Commerce.
Is that
In
beautiful?
downtown Redwood City.
Yeah.
I've never seen that
Or-
before.
I had no idea.
Oh my God, it's
That's
gorgeous.
why I loved being
Beautiful.
introduced to this.
Yeah.
There's one thing, I mostly go there at night, and one day we went just before the sun went down, and we went, well, this place is gorgeous. Look at this.
All right, this is your restaurant, Mark, so give us a quick summary.
It's simple, authentic, friendly, delicious, everything you want Mediterranean, but that much more.
All right. And Rachel?
I would call it a Bay Area gem with great food, great value, and a great location.
Okay, Modesto.
Every time I go south, that's going to be in my short list.
Turkish food fans.
Yes.
All right.
Now I am.
Well, if you would like to try New Cappadocia, it's on Broadway Street in Redwood City. The telephone number is 650-368-5500. It's open Tuesday through Friday for lunch and Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $35. Modesto is tired of trying new places that miss the mark. For him, his tried and true favorite still shines after 15 years. Added to this, when he's full after a wonderful dinner, he steps outside to enjoy the view. It's on 18th Street at Connecticut in San Francisco, and it's called Aperto.
Aperto restaurant has been on Potrero Hill for going on 16 years now. Our philosophy is to be a neighborhood restaurant, to have a very price-conscious menu, kids, families, everyone welcome.
The food at Aperto is prepared with very local Bay Area ingredients. You don't necessarily have Italian recipes that you would find in an Italian recipe book, but all of our food is simply prepared in the style and the influence of Italian cuisine.
Some of our customers' favorites on the menu at Aperto are the crab cakes, the papati, the roasted chicken, by far of our entrees, and the lamb shank. Aperto's menu is seasonal with the exception of one dish, the tagliolini papati. People have told me if I ever took it off that they would come after me wherever and they'd threaten me with bodily harm.
Whether it's our regular guests or our visitors from out of town, they all think we're rock stars. They love the food, they love the service, and most of all, they think we make magic.
Modesto, Aperto is open, right, in Italian? Do you get this open, welcoming feeling when you go there?
Yes. You know, I've been going there for 15 years, and it's my favorite place to take people from out of town for one reason. If you were from another solar system, they blindfolded you, took you into Aperto, took off the blindfolds, you know you're in San Francisco. It is the quintessential San Francisco place. So it's great for people from out of town, and I do this 4 or 5 times a year, and it's wonderful.
You knew that solar system, he's a science teacher, so you know, the other solar system.
Yes.
So what are your favorite dishes at Aperto?
You know what's interesting? Every time you go in there, they give you this amazing focaccia bread that they bake fresh. In fact, that's one of their problems, is they don't tell you how good the stuff is, and you always overeat. And they give you this wonderful, lovely olive oil to start off the dinner. And I think when we get people, we have to cut them because there's a lot of stuff coming after that. Most of the time, what we get are the special contornis, which are the vegetables. We get the special meats and special fish. Everything is wonderful, but those specials are really special. So that night, we went with some friends, and we decided to do a family style. So we got a lamb dish, a lamb shank, and we got a ribeye steak, and then we got a chicken dish, and then we had a beautiful hamachi. It was amazing on the couscous, and everything was just perfect.
What was your experience at Aperto?
It was actually, culinarily was fantastic. It was in what you said about knowing you're in San Francisco. I walked towards the restaurant, and I felt like I was in the beginning of some movie. I went, oh, it was just the right amount of darkness and the warm light coming from the front door. I was like, oh, this is beautiful.
It's in a busy part of 18th Street. I mean, parking is sometimes challenging.
Yeah, and it was full, and I got seated right next to the door, unfortunately, and it was a cold night. But even in that being said, it was still delicious. I don't even care for Italian food. And my wife loves Italian food. I loved the dishes I had.
Oh, great.
And secret be told, 2 dishes were battling it out in my head, and it was the spaghetti and shrimp or the braised short ribs. I ended up with the spaghetti, and that night I took home the braised short ribs. I said, after dessert, please box that up. So
you know what's interesting, though? I actually find the Italian food to be really good, but I mostly go for the specials, and they're off the scale good. Yeah, but the Italian is solid.
It's
but
solid Italian.
Yes.
Now, Rachel,
you've been
remarkably quiet with these 2 men.
I'm the dissenter.
Yeah.
I had a very disappointing experience at this restaurant. Both my husband and I, we from start to finish, starting from where they seated us to especially the food, and we tried every course. We tried an appetizer, salad, 2 main courses, dessert, and coffee, and wine. Everything was, I have to say, pretty bad. My main dish, the dominant flavor, was definitely burnt garlic. I know burnt garlic when I taste it. That was burnt garlic.
You know, it's funny because we took people that had never been to the restaurant, and they were blown away by it. And also at the very end, when we got the check, they couldn't believe what the price was. It wasn't very affordable for what we got.
I mean, maybe we had a bad night. I know it's really hard to run a restaurant, and it was full. But you know, we were seated next to the bathroom. We were 6 feet away from the bathroom. There should be a screen there, I think, at the very least.
And but it's not a large place.
No,
it's a small place.
Absolutely. And that's fine. I certainly don't mind a small place, but you know, the food's got to make up for all the rest. Didn't.
I've never had a bad meal. At worst, it was very good. And a lot of times it's been stellar. Now, one thing I do is like I go a little bit earlier. I don't go when it's really crowded.
That's
and there's no way I can do that. And maybe it's different at that time. But it's really, really comfortable. And like you said, even though you're right next to someone, you can have a nice conversation. And the other thing is when you're next to someone, you start talking to people. I always talk to people there. Very, very friendly.
We got seated, as I said, next to the bathroom, but also on
you're facing the
counter
window.
Seats, but not even facing the window, facing a wall. And the guy said, the maitre d' said, you know, we'll move you. And he never moved us, and he seated a couple next to us. Also, the couple next to us, their food was served way faster than ours.
But you said you've been going for 15 years.
And I'll continue to go. It is, you know, when we read reviews about a certain restaurant and they give it 3 stars or whatever, and we go there and we pay $100 or $200 or whatever, and we go, wow, I could have been in Aperto's.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Modesto, this is your restaurant. Give us a quick summary.
Well, I loved it all the time. It's delicious, it's affordable, and it's very romantic.
Okay. Rachel?
I have to say, for us, it was a dining disappointment on all levels.
Okay. Bring it home.
Speaking of someone who doesn't enjoy Italian food, I had really great dishes. So it's I would say go and experience it. I really truly feel it's San Francisco, like Modesto said. It's delicious.
If you would like to try Aperto, it's on 18th and Connecticut in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-252-1625. It's open for dinner every day with lunch Monday through Friday and brunch on the weekends. Reservations are accepted for parties of 6 or more, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $30. Rachel indulged herself in a culinary extravaganza with a menu called Love and Decadence at her plush dining location. It's not a place for every day, but for a treat, it's top notch. It's on Bush in San Francisco, and it's called Masas.
As soon as I accepted the position at Masas, I knew it would be contemporary French with strong California influence. And with my classical training in both French technique and California cuisine, it was a sure fit. So here at Masas, the 9-course tasting menu is my favorite menu. I get to do the most with this menu. What I like to achieve is taste, texture, and temperature flowing through the menu.
This restaurant has a great legacy that was left behind from a number of really talented chefs. We try and honor that here at Masas. I try and tell them about how wine-friendly Gregory's food is. I try to find wines that are new, interesting, maybe from smaller appellations that I try and introduce people to. Wines they might not be able to find by themselves. Always look for value, always look for wines that'll go well with Gregory's food.
It's been a great opportunity here to come into Masas at such a spectacular time for our 25th anniversary, and I look forward to carrying the tradition of Masas on in the Bay Area.
Thank you very much. Rachel, this is a 5-star dining experience, right?
For me, it is.
What makes it that way for you?
I would say primarily the food, the preparation, the ingredients, but also the ambiance, just the way they treat you from the moment you walk in the door. The ambience they create with the decor. There's a white curtain, you can't see the dining room, you're led to your table. It's extremely elegant. Like you said, it's not for every day, but if you want to feel king for a day, queen for a day. It's a great place to.
And it's a historic, sort of iconic restaurant in San Francisco. It's been open more than 25 years.
Yeah.
And they redecorated in about 2000. And so it went from those heavy draperies of the old Masas, opulent feel, to a much more modern look.
Yeah, and I think they do a really great job. There's huge red lampshades that the lamp are hanging from the ceilings. The rest of the room is kind of neutral, almost kind of somber. There's chocolate-covered paint on the walls, which I love. But the red adds.
Is it edible?
I tried it. It's not. It's not.
With wine, it's okay.
With wine, it's not bad. It's a paintable kind.
Yeah.
Did you have a 5-star experience?
I did. You know, and I was ready to say, yes, this is great. However, nothing's worth $300.
Right.
I had to say that it was. You know, I was back in the womb. You know, no womb without a view, though. No, there are no windows there. But it was amazing. They treated you so well. They gave you extra dishes. They kept, the chef would like to have a little soup.
A little amuse-bouche.
Then they start with 6 courses, and they look really teeny.
Right.
But by the 6th course,
and you can order 3 different sort of tasting menus, if you will, including a vegetarian option.
What I did, yeah.
I was like, from the time I went on the website, I said, "Are you kidding me? You want me? It starts at $90. What are you saying to me?" But then we got there and our name was on a list, so we did valet parking, and I went, well, all right, that's one thing, but you better show me something, Masas.
Did you get the massage?
I did get the massage, but
see.
then I walked in and I was like, this is kind of cool. Sat down and compliments of the chef and had the lobster soup.
Right, in a little demi-tasse cup.
Yes.
Oh, it was I felt so classy.
Yes.
And I said, what are we going to do, dear? Pick the cheapest thing on here. And I couldn't because it was prefixed. And I went, doggone it, we're going for broke. Let's get this big thing right here. I think it was the Love and Decadence.
Well, you were a naysayer.
I was ready to hate the heck out of it. I was ready to just go, food should be accessible. This is insane. I'm tired of people. Oh my God, this is amazing. Oh, bring me more. No, bring me the next dish then.
You were nervous over there too, thinking people were going to.
Everyone's going to hate me. This elitist, you know. I just want people to know how
high
good
expectations at a place like Masas with Julian Serrano, the original Masas as chef, then Ron Siegel, and now Gregory Short. I mean, so there's high praise. So. Tell me some of your favorite dishes that just.
Let me just. First of all, I've always wanted to taste Kobe beef. Never ever. I've heard, but have never tasted. The way they massage those cows is something.
But it's not only Kobe; it's Wagyu Kobe.
So they must give it a facial or something too. But it was so good. It melted in your mouth. I never had caviar. Because I was going, caviar, oh, fine, I'll taste it. Oh my gosh, this is good.
So you had the little creme brulee caviar thing?
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
Insane. And I never had foie gras.
They do that better.
Oh, yeah. Once you have foie gras, forget it. There's no turning back.
I knew that the foie gras there was exceptionally good. And I was really excited because this time they had prepared it differently. They used to do it with an apricot puree. This time it was with some sort of berry, port, and wild mushroom. Well, the sommelier there, who is fabulous.
Alan Murray, who's a master sommelier and really has an incredible list.
It is a joy to watch him working all night long. Right. It's worth going there just for that.
And the nice thing about that list is you figure you're paying that much money for dinner. You can actually order a bottle of wine on that list for $19.
Yeah.
Don't tell lies, Leslie. Don't tell lies. I saw the wine list. That's a lie.
You must have found the $1,900 bottle of wine.
We sure did.
And what about your meal?
Wow. So we had the 6 meal prefix, and it was amazing. I thought that I've had grouper in the Caribbean. And that's still my favorite, but this grouper that I had here was so flaky and just wonderful. And again, everything was just so small, but it was just perfectly enough. The only thing that my wife liked more than I did was the lamb. I thought the lamb was, again, very good. And she thought it was exceptional. And again, she's always right, so she's probably right.
That's right. And what about the candy cart?
Oh
yeah.
Tore that
so actually, I was
cart apart.
Just put in stuff in the sweaters and stuff.
And
it's
they'll
amazing.
just keep piling it. Would you like
more
nougat? More?
Yeah. I couldn't eat anything. I actually just took it all home with me.
Right.
I wish I could have said that. They came by and we were full after 9 courses. And then
I know you do that.
She said, would you like to try our candy? And we're like, I don't know. I'm going, of course. What are you going to do?
All homemade on the premises by the pastry chef.
All homemade. And we're like, just give us a few. And of course, yet again, there we go. And we're like, we'll save these. And on the way home, we're like, what is that one?
The thing I love about it, all the people, I was expecting this type of a restaurant to be really uppity, you know.
Yes.
They're really down-to-earth people.
Yes.
I mean, they're really nice. I mean,
Yes.
every person, there's so many white people, I had no idea who was there. You know, they had about 5 or 6 people coming. They're all so nice.
They took you along for the ride, and they were okay with getting questions.
Yeah.
And a couple of times I asked, is it appropriate for me to be using this utensil? And they were like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
And they were down to earth. We were able to joke with them.
Yes.
And they still had their classy demeanor, but
They're
they
all
still were
wearing
able to
suits
just
all the way to, I mean, it's like, this is professional.
This is the profession. I think they do this for a long time. These are not people that work for 6 months.
I think,
this is people.
I think the people that work there are there because they love food.
Yep.
All right, Rachel, this is your restaurant, so give us a summary.
I would call it fabulous 5-star dining that's never fussy.
Excellent. Modesto?
If I found an old jacket and I put my hand in my pocket and found a couple, $200 or $300, I'd be there in a second.
Okay. And Mark, the naysayer, what do you think?
Yes, amazingly classy, extremely expensive, but you must go at least once. It's delicious, amazing.
All right. If you would like to experience Masas, it's on Bush Street near Stockton in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-989-7154. It's open Tuesday through Saturday for dinner. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $100. I have to thank my great guests on this week's show, Mark Duncanson, Modesto Tamez, and Rachel Carey. Mark's restaurant, New Kapadokia, was a hit with everyone. Both Modesto and Rachel declared the lentil soup fantastic, and Rachel can't wait to go back. Modesto's Aperto had a more mixed reception, with Mark enjoying his evening despite the close quarters, while Rachel's experience and food was disappointing. Finally, Rachel's Masas. Not a place for every day, but it won a skeptical Modesto and a nervous Mark over with a wonderful dining experience. Don't forget, for more discussion, you can visit our website and add your comments. You can view this and all the shows online or download the podcast. And you can learn about the KQED Wine Club wines we've been tasting today. So join us next time when 3 new guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.
Nice.
Thank you.
This show is available in high definition, Comcast On Demand, and via podcast. For additional information on the restaurants featured, to comment, or to apply to be on the show, go to our website at kqed.org/checkplease. A KQED television production.